Welcome back to another episode of At Home Safe with me, Brennon James. I can't believe you made it. You know, I always told everybody you were good people, you know that? Whenever they were trying to talk shit, I was like, nah, good people. But no, seriously though, welcome back. So there's not fucking much happening in the way of news, really. The whole world's on pause. But I was standing at the fucking fridge and I looked out of the window to see the one thing that never makes anything better. Snow. It's fucking snowing. And it's after Easter, dude. I guess that doesn't really mean shit in Michigan, though. I guess it doesn't even fucking matter, though. Because I'm not, what am I doing? What is snow ruining for me? There's nowhere I gotta be. In fact, and it's not even enough to shovel, so there's no point in complaining about that shit. Damn, I almost started off this whole episode complaining like a motherfucker about something pointless, like snow. But there's a lot of people complaining about pointless shit right now. Like, if you go on Facebook at all, like, all you'll see is people complaining about super pointless shit. And I just feel like that gif of those Kardashians when the one's like, people are dying, Kim. that's how I feel. Like, every time I go on Facebook, I just want to comment, hey, you know, people are like dying and stuff. But I don't, because that's fucking morbid and it brings people down. But I don't think everybody realizes that. Like, there's bigger shit going on than the snow that's happening outside of my window while I stand at the fucking fridge. The fridge is like my new hangout, though. It's like constant trips to the fucking fridge. And I don't even remember deciding to go to the fridge. I just, like, it's like I sleepwalk and I just wake up and I'm standing in the fridge. And I don't even want shit out of there. It's just like I'm just checking on shit. Just like parents go in the room in the middle of the night and check on their kids. Like I'm checking on the 16 individual packets of ketchup in my fridge and the can of open oysters. That's actually true. There's a fucking can of open oysters in my fridge because I found oysters and I never ate one. And I was like, oh shit, look at the luck. I guess the world wants me to be sophisticated. So I opened the can, I put one in my mouth, and then I realized that oysters come intact with their intestines. So I spat that shit out, and I was going to throw away the whole can, but then I have this weird shit about, like, wasting. Like, this weird guilt about, like, wasting shit. I don't know where that comes from, but... So yeah, I put that shit back in the fridge to be thrown away at a later date, which is fucking pointless. So I gotta throw that shit. I gotta throw that shit out right now. What am I thinking? Anyway, so yeah, this is one of the bad decisions I've been making at the fridge. Like, I always hear conspiracy theorists talk about they. Like, they're gonna round us up. They're trying to enslave us. They're taking away our rights. And, like, they never tell me, like, who is they exactly. But whoever they is, they probably do the brainwashing through the fridge. Like, that's where I go and download my mind control. It's standing in that light in the fridge. And that's why I probably don't remember walking into the kitchen at all. So, yeah, that's my conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theorists. Like, they're the, like, warning bells of the society. Even though some of them are, like, batshit crazy because they believe. It's like a hobby for them. They want to believe every conspiracy. So then the ones that are true get mixed up with the ones that are bullshit, and then you don't believe any of them anymore until something wild happens. Nah, I'm just fucking around. I almost never believe conspiracy theories. Just because, like, the vibe is always off. They're always, like, looking right through you, like, up into space, like, prophesizing and shit. And that's pretty fucking spooky, dude. But like, I like them at a party though, because at a party they capitalize on every conversation and nobody else gets a word in. So then I can just get really high, like off of edible, and then just zone out, and then nobody's wondering what the fuck's going on with me, because I can just act like I'm so amazed by what the conspiracy theorist is saying, like I didn't know about the military-industrial complex. Like, oh my God, dude, they're trying to hold black people down. Why didn't anybody tell me before right now tonight? Because that's what they do. Conspiracy theorists teach. At least in their minds, they like hold court and they're teaching you about the ills of the world that you don't realize yet because you don't even fucking pay attention. You know what I mean? Because you gotta fucking pay attention. And they're the only ones who are. They're the only ones paranoid enough. But no, like conspiracy theorists, if you ask them where they got it, they'll be like, yeah, this guy wrote this book. And then I'm always confused because like, if someone exposes some secrets that some top level people in the world don't want exposed in a book, like, wouldn't that person be in hiding? I don't think they would have a publishing deal and a bank account to collect revenue, but maybe they would. What do I know? Maybe one day I'll fucking stumble onto some shit that I shouldn't, but I probably won't write a book about it. Yeah, I won't have a paper trail for the fucking Illuminati to come wipe me off the face of the earth. Conspiracy theorists are super paranoid, which is a real condition I'm not making fun of. Fake woke people, super paranoid. I don't even know if fake woke people are paranoid, but I think like there's a lot of people, like a fake woke person is somebody who wants to appear super woke, like an activist because it's popular right now. Not because they actually give a fuck about anything or have the time or the dedication to do research or check facts. They just want a photo op. So like if you can tell a fake woke person anything and they'll pretty much believe it if you use the right like keywords. It's like real life clickbait. So if you tell a fake woke person they're chopping people up and turning them into fucking Oscar Mayer baloney, they'll be like, that's ridiculous. Nobody would do that. But if you tell a fake woke person the white patriarchy is chopping up black people and turning them into Oscar Mayer baloney, not only will the fake woke person act like they already knew that, but they'll act like they've been trying to tell you for years. Like, that's what don't nobody want to listen to me. That's what I've been trying to say for years. Ain't nothing new under the sun. That's what they've been doing. But yeah, like it'll be a complete lie and you made it up. And then they'll proceed to tell the next 30 people they come in contact with about it so they can look like the king of wokeness. Before they even, before they Google it once, they'll tell 100 people. So yeah, that's how bullshit spreads. And then because we have opinion-based news, which I'm doing right now, this is my opinion-based news. But no, I'm not shitting on conspiracy theories. Pay attention to them because some of that shit is probably true. But most of that shit is probably baloney, hogwash, bullshit. They just got to get better at filtering it. And then I'll give them a good listen. But until then, sorry, conspiracy theorists. But yeah, besides fucking taking trips to the fridge, complaining, I've been fucking binge watching TV, trying to create, and I fucking exercise now. Which I'm not going to talk about exercise because that's like being a vegan and exercising is like the things you hear about the most in the world. So besides those other two words, but I'll leave all that for the outside world right now. But so what have I been watching? I've been watching this show called The Magicians. I'm probably pretty late to that. I watched the first season like 2 years ago, but I haven't kept up on it. But now that I had time, I got up to season 4, And I think season 5 is on TV because I'm watching it on Netflix. Season 5, I think, just ended, and it's the last season. So they had their series finale. But it's like, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically like this rated R Harry Potter situation where this guy gets this acceptance letter to this magical grad school. So basically like Hogwarts, except grown up shit happens in it. And yeah, watch that shit if you like dark comedies and like big adventures and shit. Another show I've been watching was actually I finished watching it. It's called Cloak and Dagger. It's one of the Marvel superhero TV shows or whatever. And I hadn't really watched too many of them that weren't on Netflix because I just assumed that they would be watered down for TV. But the show Cloak and Dagger is actually pretty fucking sweet. But it only had 2 seasons and I finished both of them. But yeah, it's like deals with a lot of real life shit in real ways and shit. Sometimes they get a little too political, but usually they do like a really good job of like not painting a biased picture. So yeah, again, if you're into like big adventure shit and like superheroes and shit, you can watch Cloak and Daggers. Cloak and Dagger, not Daggers. Like I think that's like a Michigan thing to add an S to everything. Or maybe it's like, I don't know, black thing. It's okay, I'm black, don't cancel me. Another thing I've been watching is The Sopranos on HBO. Which I'm sure everybody else has finished that, seen it all. But it's such a good show, you could probably watch it at least 100 times. And another show on HBO I've been watching, it's also about fucking gangsters and shit, so go figure. It's called Boardwalk Empire. And it's like in the 1920s, so it's like 100 years ago. So I think that's pretty, like, what draws me into watching it. It's like the set design and like seeing a world that's like time accurate, a timestamp from 100 years ago. There's also these videos on YouTube you can go and watch and type in. It's like New York in 1920 at 60 frames per second. And they just walk around New York in 1920 with a video camera, like one of those fucking, and tape life in society. And there's a bunch of cities you can watch, and I think a bunch of years too. But it's sweet to see the world moving 100 years ago, because none of the shit that's in there is the same that it is now, obviously. But anyway, that's just me nerding out. Also, I've been watching comedy specials, because I use comedy as like a way to stay up and like happy and chipper and shit. Chipper, what a lame word. But yeah, so when I'm trying not to be like down in the dumps or like stressed out about something, I'll just watch comedy specials. It's like a mood regulator. The last one I just watched is Chris D'Elia, No Pain. It's fucking funny as fuck. If you haven't seen any of his shit, I think all his specials are on Netflix, so you can actually watch everything he did. But this last one was fucking funny. It's this host fucking... He has this whole bit about doing a drive-by that I'm not going to give away, but it's like, it had me dying. I might watch it again. Another one I watched is Tom Segura. It's called Ball Hog. That's Tom Segura, because I know I just like mumbled through that shit. Because sometimes when I do this podcast, it's the first time I talk all day, which is what we like to call dope as fuck. But yeah, so Chris D'Elia special, Tom Segura special. Netflix dropped like, I don't know, like a ton of specials over the last 2 or 3 months. So there's like a ton of comedy you can watch if you're fucking into that. I don't remember everybody's names and specials, but Pete Davidson from SNL, he dropped one. This guy Bert Kreischer dropped one. Mark Maron dropped one. They're all fucking tight. I haven't seen one that I didn't like so far. And that's hard to do. Plus, right now is like really appreciated to have like tons of fresh comedy dropping. And then if you are a fan of like comedy clips and you're on YouTube a lot, YouTube Comedy Central Stand Up is the YouTube channel, but they drop clips of stand up specials and 15 minutes specials and shit. And then sometimes they'll drop a full hour special, Like, I think lately they're doing that because everybody's at home, probably. But yeah, it's free comedy on YouTube if you go to Comedy Central stand up. Always like that shit. Like, I probably watched comedy. Comedy Central used to run these blocks of like for 4 hours back in the summer when I was like in high school and like middle school and shit. Of Comedy Central Presents, Premium Blend, and these other shows. It was all shows of people doing stand up. So it would be like I would wake up at like 9 o'clock, and then you watch till 1 o'clock really. So yeah, you watch till 1:30. Sometimes they would follow up that 4 hour block of stand up with a stand up special, which was fucking sweet. Or it would be like Reno 911, which is also funny as fuck. But yeah, I think I've been addicted to comedy ever since way back then. But yeah, besides like doing that shit, I've just been like trying to fucking like gain new skills, read audiobooks, listen to audiobooks and read real books. Uh One of the real books that I've been reading is The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. I've been reading the same book for like the last 10 years, and I've read it all the way through, but it's one of those books you have to keep going back to reference and shit. But if you haven't fucking heard of that, if you get a chance, fucking buy it. I think you can, I think the audiobook is available too. It's probably like 20 something bucks. Another book I've been reading is The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. It's a samurai from fucking, I think the 1600s or some shit. Who knows? I should be really more historically accurate with that. But anyway, he's an undefeated samurai, like world renowned. And the Book of Five Rings is his book of strategy and life. And a lot of like really successful people have referenced that book. So that's what made me buy it. Like I've heard probably like 20 hyper successful people reference that book. So I've been reading that book probably also for the last 10 years. One of the things they talk about in there is like taking an interest in all the arts. So Musashi, even though he was a samurai, like he was like an amateur chef and like a bunch of other shit too. Like he had a bunch of skills just because he figured out that learning about one thing could teach you about another thing and help you like jump steps, or like you could grow in one thing and then grow in all things at the same time. So he really preached that. And his book is like divided into chapters. So it's one book, the Book of Five Rings, but each ring is its own book also. That's just the way he like wrote it in there. So I think it's the Book of Water when they talk about knowing all the ways. And like he knew all, like he was a champion sword fighter. Like not even a champion, they killed people back then, but he was the best sword fighter, but he was also super skilled in all the other weapons too. So they asked him like if he could choose a sword, would he choose a sword above all weapons? And he said it would depend on the situation, which is not like like how they thought samurai would speak about a sword, because it's like sacred. But anyway, yeah, if you get a chance, all that to say this, if you get a chance, read the Book of Five Rings. It might advance you. It might help you not make pointless rants. Another book I've read, or audiobooks that I've read, are Kevin Hart has a good audiobook. It's about his life. And Charlemagne has a good audiobook about his life. And I listened to The Alchemist on audiobook because I read it in high school. And there's a bunch of like good fucking audiobooks. It's just as good as reading, especially when when the author narrates, it's always better. But sometimes they'll get like high profile actors and like high profile orators, and it's still just as sweet. It's like a real adventure. So if you get a chance, start checking out audiobooks and shit. Besides that, I've been fucking working on music. I should have new shit. if anybody cares. Well, I care. So, yeah, I'll have new music out. That should be tight. Hopefully with the work that I'm putting into it. And getting better at making podcasts. Trying to get better at making podcasts and editing them. Obviously, you never want to have to like do everything by yourself. But in times like these, you get the privilege of learning how to do things by yourself. So yeah, I think getting better at every aspect of what it takes to podcast and a few other things is like good for me. So I'm trying to be like, trying to have like a positive outlook about how I spend this time. But yeah, that's it. I'm tired of hearing myself talk, so I'm fucking out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, like, subscribe, follow. Follow Towel Row. Follow Towel Row Studios on YouTube. Listen to episodes of The Gateway Show. Watch episodes of The Gateway Show. It'll be fucking fun for you. And I'm out. Peace.